There is a fruit that appears in the Bible more than almost any other food. It's carved into the pillars of Solomon's temple. It's embroidered on the hem of the high priest's robes. It's mentioned in the Song of Solomon as a symbol of beauty and desire. Moses sent spies into Canaan, and when they came back to prove the land was good, they carried this fruit with them. And modern science has discovered that this fruit contains 3 times more antioxidants than blueberries, more than green tea, more than red wine, one of the most powerful cellular defense foods ever measured, but almost nobody eats it the way the ancients did. And that's where everything went wrong. History, the fruit is the pomegranate. And in ancient Israel, it was sacred. When God gave Moses the design for the high priest's garments in Exodus 28, he specified that golden bells and pomegranates should alternate along the hem of the robe. Pomegranates, woven in blue and purple and scarlet thread, on the garment of the holiest man in Israel. When Solomon built the temple, he placed 2 massive bronze pillars at the entrance, and atop each pillar were carved pomegranates, 200 of them, not eagles, not lions. Pomegranates. When the 12 spies returned from scouting the promised land in Numbers 13, they brought back 3 things as evidence of the land's abundance: grapes, figs, and pomegranates. Those 3 fruits were the proof that the land flowed with milk and honey. The pomegranate was one of the 7 species, the 7 crops listed in Deuteronomy that defined the agricultural wealth of Israel. It wasn't a luxury, it was a pillar of the economy, the diet, and the spiritual life of an entire civilization. In Jewish tradition, the pomegranate is said to contain 613 seeds, 1 for each commandment in the Torah. Whether that's literally true varies from fruit to fruit, but the symbolism tells you something important. This fruit represented completeness, wholeness, everything you need held inside one shell. Science, modern research shows that the ancients may have understood more than we gave them credit for. Pomegranates are extraordinarily high in punicalagins, a type of polyphenol antioxidant found almost nowhere else in the food supply. These compounds have been measured at 3 times the antioxidant activity of blueberries and green tea per serving. Antioxidants fight oxidative stress, the cellular damage caused by free radicals that contributes to aging, inflammation, heart disease, and cancer. Your body is under oxidative attack every day, from pollution, processed food, stress, even normal metabolism. Antioxidants are your defense system. Pomegranate juice has been studied for its effects on cardiovascular health. Research has shown it can reduce systolic blood pressure, improve blood flow, and slow the buildup of arterial plaque. Some studies found a 30% reduction in arterial plaque thickness over 1 year of daily consumption. The fruit also contains punicic acid and omega-5 fatty acid with anti-inflammatory properties. It contains significant vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, and potassium. And emerging research is exploring its effects on memory, joint health, and exercise recovery. All from a fruit that grows on a small tree in dry, rocky soil, the kind of soil that covers most of Israel. Villain, so why do we call blueberries the superfood while pomegranates sit in the corner of the produce section often ignored? Marketing. Blueberries are easy. You buy a plastic container, pop them in your mouth, done. They don't stain your hands. They don't require any work. Pomegranates are messy. They're intimidating. They take effort to open. Most people don't know how, so they walk right past them. The food industry loves easy. Easy means more sales. Easy means higher turnover. And so, blueberries got the marketing budget, the superfood label, the magazine covers. Pomegranates got a small shelf space and a high price tag that pushed people toward cheaper, easier, less powerful options. The fruit God carved into his temple is sitting in your grocery store right now, being outsold by a berry with 1/3 of its power. Devotion. Picture Solomon's temple on a feast day. The bronze pillars gleaming in the morning sun. 200 pomegranates carved along the top of each one, catching the light, casting small round shadows on the stone below. Families arriving from across the land, children running ahead. The smell of incense drifting from inside, and at the entrance, those pomegranates the first thing you saw before you entered the presence of God. Inside, the high priest moves through the inner courts. With every step, the bells on his robe ring softly. And between each bell, a pomegranate, swinging gently, blue, purple, scarlet, the fruit of wholeness, touching the hem of holiness. After the service, families gather in the courtyards. They break open pomegranates with their hands. The seeds spill out ruby red, glistening, hundreds of them. Children pick them out one by one. Mothers press the juice into clay cups. The tartness hits first, then the sweetness, then something deeper that you can only call satisfying. This wasn't a snack. This was communion with the land itself. Every seed a reminder of the soil God promised, the harvest He provided, the completeness He designed. Recipe. Here's how to eat pomegranate the way the ancients did, not as a garnish on a salad, but as the main event. Buy 2 or 3 ripe pomegranates. They should feel heavy for their size. The skin should be firm, a deep red or reddish brown. Cut the crown off the top. Score the skin in quarters, just deep enough to cut through the rind, but not the seeds. Hold it over a bowl of water and pull the sections apart. The seeds will fall into the water, the white membrane will float. Skim the membrane off, drain the seeds. Now you have a bowl of pure pomegranate seeds. Hundreds of them. Eat them as they are a full bowl, the way you'd eat a meal, not a decoration. Chew slowly, let the juice burst. This is how they ate them. Or press them. Put the seeds in a fine mesh strainer over a bowl and press with a spoon. The juice that comes out is deep red, almost purple. Sweet and tart and alive. Drizzle raw honey into the juice. The ancients always paired fruit with honey. Honey was their sweetener, their preservative, their blessing. You can also reduce the juice into a syrup. Pour it into a small pot, add a spoonful of honey, simmer on low heat for 20 minutes until it thickens. What you get is pomegranate molasses, one of the oldest condiments in the Middle East, used on bread, meat, salads, and stews for thousands of years. That's it. A fruit, a bowl, your hands. The same way it was done in the shadow of Solomon's temple. We spent decades looking for superfoods. We shipped berries from the Amazon. We powdered roots from the Himalayas. We patented molecules and sold them in capsules. And the most antioxidant-rich fruit in the ancient world was carved into the temple of God and sewn onto the robes of His priest. It's been in the Bible the whole time. Share this with someone who reaches for the blueberries every week. And if you want to keep uncovering what's hiding in the pages most people skip, subscribe and hit the bell. The seeds are ready. Come sit down.